Welcome to Global Village. We have a great person today, Anita Nifs from SAMS Aboriginal in Medicine Hat, Executive Director. Welcome to the program, Anita, again.
Thank you for having me again.
Could you please tell us a little bit about your achievements of the organization last year?
Well, last year, SAMS Aboriginal Employment and Training was able to put together a pre-employment, pre-trades program with Medicine Hat College. It was a 26-week program, and in that program we were able to upgrade the skills of 12 clients so that they had all the math, sciences, GED, everything that they would require to be very successful in the trades. So now the program ended in June, and all 12 of those individuals are out in our community working in the trades and working towards their indentureship. It was a great partnership with community and the Medicine Hat College.
Wow, that's good. So is that a program that you will continue this year then?
This year we have broadened the criteria, I guess. We're doing an essential skills / adult basic education. In prior years, we had done a healthcare aide and administrative assistant. Last year, the pre-trades. This year, what we're hoping to do is open up the criteria a little more so that we can provide the upgrading and the essential skills training so that they may enter into any occupation of choice, be it trades, healthcare, admin. So the goal this year is to bring our clients in and give them all the academic upgrading they need to be successful in the labor market.
Yeah, one of the things come to my mind is also last year I had the Medicine Hat police chief as well as the deputy police chief, and they were talking about diversity in the police system. Is there a way probably then your organization and the police department to work together in terms of finding the right people to be part of the police department in the near future?
Well, at SAMS Aboriginal Employment, we help individuals obtain funding to go into any kind of post-secondary program. Over the years, we have been able to fund numerous Aboriginal clients in the Police and Securities program at the Medicine Hat College. I've funded one into the RCMP training, and yes, there is a way for us to help connect clients with those types of occupations.
Yeah, I think that will be a win-win situation for all the communities, especially when you have a diverse with the police in order for them to achieve the maximum possibility to safeguard the interest of all communities. So to have them different people from the minorities, I think will help the police in terms of safeguarding all in the community. That was what they were driving, and so if you probably connect them, I think that would be a great, both RCMP and the police in Medicine Hat.
Yes, yes.
The other one is, do you guys have any working relations with the business community in Medicine Hat in terms of training the labor force from the Aboriginal?
We haven't had any strong employers come forward and say, you know, I would really like to recruit from your organization. One of the things that we always look to is a partnership with business.
Yeah.
And so our training programs we can customize them. So if we had an employer that wanted to come forward to us and say, you know what, I would really like to hire 10 to 12 individuals, but I would really like to see them with this certain skill set, we can recruit to that. We can retrain people to that so that we can match employer needs. So I think we have a good working relationship in Medicine Hat, but I would really like to see that grow stronger, and so that we're working with employers to directly recruit the proper clients to their organizational needs, and to ensure that they have the training to help partner with them in that in developing that workforce?
Maybe Chamber of Commerce, maybe economic development. I believe medicine has regional economic development, I'm sure. Might benefit probably that kind of idea partnership with them, since they have the business group with them. It might help the organization and them to partner for the common good.
Yes, it would be good to partner up with a variety of organizations.
Yeah, because you do have a partnership with Medicine Hat College in terms of skill training.
Yes, we've been able to develop that over the years. So, and again, we can customize our training programs to match employer needs specifically, what they'd like to see out of potential clients that they would like to hire, and long term to stay with them. So, for instance, if they got into the trades, we'd ensure training all through their indentureship up to a red seal. So it's good to enhance the skills and grow with that company.
So what do you say the population-wise of the Aboriginal in this area then?
Well, I haven't looked at the StatsCan for a while, but a few years ago I looked at it, and we, in this area, it's a broad area that we service. I think we deal with about 10 to 12,000 self-identified Aboriginal people here in southeastern Alberta.
Wow. Does that include Siksika Nation then?
No, it does not. It includes more on the urban, not the reserves, but more in the urban. Bow Island, Brooks, Tabor,
this region,
the southeast area.
Oh, okay, but there is none similar to a Siksika Nation that you have a Aboriginal in that area, or well, this is only for the cities?
This is our organization is here to serve the urban Aboriginal population. So we serve anybody that is not living on reserve.
When you say Aboriginal, that is similar to saying, for example, natives, or is it different from some of the people sometimes have a difficult to understand Aboriginal, natives, Indians? With all respect, so they get sometimes a, is it all in general or specific then?
Aboriginal is the, I guess, the new politically correct term that has been used over the decades and years. We've been called many things.
Yeah.
Several years ago, under the Aboriginal umbrella, First Nations, non-status Indians, Métis, and Inuit were all rolled into an Aboriginal category in Canada. So when I speak of Aboriginal, I'm speaking of those four identified categories.
Okay, in the umbrella.
All under this Aboriginal umbrella.
Okay, so that will include also the Indians then?
Indians, yes. Indian is the term that was given to First Nations people 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's not often used.
Aboriginal is just the political correctness.
Yes.
Okay, but you have a variety of different names from First Nations all the way, so that comes the umbrella of Aboriginal.
Yes, so there's First Nations living both on and off reserve. Mm-hmm. So our organization is there to service that population that have migrated off reserve into urban centers.
Okay.
Non-status that have lived either on or off reserve. Yeah. Métis people.
Yeah.
That in Alberta there is some Métis settlements, but for the most part Métis people have been living in urban centers or rural centers all of our generations. Yeah. And the Inuit. And we're seeing more people move out of northern mm-hmm. Canada and down into these southern areas, so a few Inuit as well.
Yeah, because I believe in the States they still use the name Indians in the U.S.
You hear it more in the U.S. than you do here in Canada.
Okay.
You will hear people refer to themselves as Indian.
Yeah.
Some that is an acceptable term, and some it is not.
Oh. Okay.
Indian, the term of Indian was used very derogatorily for many, many years. But again, many of us were called Indians, or in my generation, I'm Métis. I was called a half-breed.
Okay.
That's what my ancestors were called.
Yeah.
So again, those terms are not really used that much
Okay.
in today's world.
There you go. No, I think back then, I think whatever the reasoning at that time is just past. But it's when you say even Indians, because that comes also the East Indians.
That's right.
Yeah. So it creates a confusion if somebody especially is new to the society. They get confused with the Indians is in East India or Pakistan or those guys or the natives. So easier, I think, to use Aboriginal, which is politically correctness. What do you think? You have been here in Medicine Hat now long time, I believe. You've been with SAMS for many years now in the past.
Yes, I've been with SAMS now for about 14 years, going on 14 years now.
Wow.
Yes, so I've been able to see our Aboriginal population grow and become successful. I've seen individuals that I was able to help get the training for 5-10 years ago have become very successful individuals in our community. Empowerment. It's all about self-sufficiency, and when you can provide for your family, you become empowered. So it's nice to see that our community is there, that we've been able to help these people get a start, and they are very vibrant individuals and families in Medicine Hat area, contributing to the economics, contributing to our community and the diversity of our community.
No, that's very good to hear. You do have also a cultural days, I believe, in the calendar, one being in June, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, for the last 6 years, SAMS Aboriginal Employment has been able to host a National Aboriginal Day celebration. This year we'll be doing it again in the park, in Kin Park, right off Allowance. It'll be June 21st, which I believe is a Sunday this year.
Oh, okay. So that's the National Day of Aboriginal in Canada.
Yes, it's many years ago it was declared as a day for Aboriginal people to celebrate our culture and history.
Wow. So you've been doing it the last 6 years in Medicine Hat then?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I believe we do have also in Brooks County of New York, we do the same thing for the past years, I believe.
Yes.
We have Aboriginal Day in Brooks County of New York, which is showcase for the culture of the Aboriginal people. And I think having in Medicine Hat, people will see the culture, the beauty culture and of the Aboriginal. What do you think your intake is, for example, in 21st century economic growth about diverse population advantage in 21st century?
Well, Canada's Aboriginal population has been disadvantaged for many years. And it's a coming of age, I think, at this point. The unemployment on the reserves, Canada's reserves, is 3 to 4 times that of the general population.
Oh, wow.
I think that there's a lot more that we could do. The business community, Chamber of Commerce, economic development, to target that population. Tell them what Medicine Hat has to offer. Talk to them about the businesses. Bring them in. They want to move here. Not all, but lots of them are close to their homes. would look at this type of thing. So I think there's a lot more that we could do to have the Aboriginal population of Canada participate in the economy. And I think for the 21st century, I think that's a good goal to have.
I think that's a great idea, which I believe both the City of Medicine Hat and the Chamber of Commerce Economic Development might see that's a common good for everybody, because you have a labor force which is readily available.
Yes.
If given the opportunity and train them properly. What about the women? Do you guys have some sort of women empowerment with programs within the Aboriginal?
There is all kinds of programming available, but for the youth and women, again, the disadvantagement of the Aboriginal population in and of itself. Our organization is focused on employment, training people so that they can be competitive in the labor market,
Yeah.
getting them the skills that they need so that they can go lead to self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
Many of the women, as always, need that kind of a skill so
Yeah.
that they can compete.
Yeah.
And I think that empowerment is being able to is self-sufficiency. So if we can help them upgrade their skills,
Yeah.
We've empowered them. Education is power.
Yeah.
So I think that's our goal of empowerment.
Okay. Is there any then cooperation from the City of Medicine Hat or any other particular organizations that have the same vision with the SAMS organization in terms of the Aboriginal?
There is not a department down at the City of Medicine Hat that has approached us to date, indicating that they would like to build an employment equity program. I think there is lots of room with the City of Medicine Hat to build an employment equity program and to work with an organization like ours.
Yeah.
To say, yes, we believe in this, we believe in the Aboriginal people, and we want to see them as part of our labor force. So I think there's still lots of work to do with organizations like the City of Medicine Hat,
Yeah.
and things that could definitely be done better.
Did you guys approach them with the idea then?
I have approached the city on in previous years,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll get a chance to touch base again.
No, definitely. I think from my understanding with them and having them a couple of times, they are open for the diversity discussion, diversity empowerment, and all that stuff, because that's a common good for all the people in Medicine Hat as a community in one big family.
Right.
And it will benefit not only the city, but also will benefit everybody who lives in Medicine Hat, this beautiful city. So I think it might be a good idea to approach the idea again and see where, with the new administration, I think, and see where the idea might, get up, because it's a labor force that needs to be trained and give them the opportunity and have them empower their groups.
True. Right now we're not seeing it because of the low price of oil, but in the economic boom times and the growth times, Canada does have an untapped labor force in the Aboriginal people of Canada. And I think we really need to start looking at how we can tap into that labor force, train them, and have them ready. Because the price of oil is down, unemployment is up now, but as always, that is not permanent, right? So
No.
let's train our people for the next wave. Let's have them ready so that when the employers are ready to gear up again, we have a workforce in hand. And for us to be able to do that, we have to now start working with those groups, with those companies, and say, okay, what do you see 5 years down the road as a need for your labor force? Can we get these people involved? Tell us what you'd like to see. Now's a good time to train them for the next phase of growth.
That's very important for the city, for economic development, for everybody. That's the oil is down today, but it will not remain. So that's they're predicting the next couple of months will go back up. And but to have the labor force ready for that occasion, I think might be a wise thing to do.
Yes.
An important thing to do. You mentioned scholarship also. Do you guys have some sort of scholarship together with the Southeastern Foundation to the college?
That was a bit off topic, of, but
Yeah.
what I had mentioned earlier is that years ago I sat on the Samus Aboriginal TP Association as the chairman.
What does that
And
TP stands for?
The TP, the world's largest TP,
Oh, the one outside there. Okay.
out on the highway.
Okay.
Yes, and so when we closed that organization, we had some money that we had raised under our charity, and we set up a scholarship. We gave $50,000 to Southern Alberta Community Foundation and a similar amount of money to the Medicine Hat College. That money has been set up under the name of the Rick Filanti Memorial Scholarship to be given out to Aboriginal students who are attending the Medicine Hat College.
Oh,
Yes, and so we set it up under Rick Filanti's name to honor Mr. Filanti, as he was the one that brought the teepee to Medicine Hat. And he had a strong belief in the Aboriginal population and always went out of his way to promote that. And so as our gift, we set up those foundations under his name.
so that's the biggest TP in the world then?
So they say it's the world's largest teepee.
Wow. So why did they close then?
Sorry?
Why did they close the
Why did the foundation? The foundation at the time, we had a lot of property out at the city of Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
We tried for many, many years to get economic development into there and financial support to develop the land.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we were just unable to do that. It was a small group of volunteers trying to raise millions of dollars for the development of that, and we just couldn't do that. And so ultimately, we handed the land and the teepee back to the city of Medicine Hat, with the hope that they would one day see that as the potential for the economic development. Tourism. The site is a beautiful site. It's got
Very.
lots of history there.
Very beautiful.
The Aboriginal tourism is still very high. So there's lots of things that can be done out at that site that I think would add to the city.
But if someone wants to visit, you can still go and visit the area.
Oh, for sure. It's open to the public all day long.
Oh, okay. So the hope is one day maybe the city will recognize the importance, potential, so they will revive that.
They'll revive the site and develop some economic development out there. A small museum, a gift shop, maybe some washrooms would be nice. You know, it's again a bit off topic of what my agency does, but the city of Lethbridge has a competition powwow every year. It would be wonderful to have a competition powwow up on the TP site. And the economic spin-off for something like that brings millions into a city like Medicine Hat. Hotel rooms, restaurants, all of that kind of stuff. So it would be nice to be able to celebrate that culture. I think that there's a lot more that we can do to build that and promote it here. Medicine Hat, Samas. Samas is a Blackfoot word for a medicine man's war bonnet.
Oh.
So our city is named out of after that. A strong a presence of Aboriginal people, history of Aboriginal people, Cree, Métis, Blackfoot in this area, as it was a meeting ground for people moving east to west, traditional hunting, wintering ground out at Cypress Hills. So I think there's a lot we could do.
The name of Medicine Hat, how the name originally came, Medicine Hat.
Samas is,
Okay.
is the Blackfoot or Samas. We've kind of diversified the name like we do all types of things. So
Okay.
Samas is
Okay.
the way you pronounce it in Blackfoot, and literally means medicine man's war bonnet.
Oh,
And so that's where Medicine Hat got its name, is from the medicine man hat's war bonnet. And there is a story that goes with that. And but yeah, that's where the word comes from.
I believe they do have in the city building, if I'm not mistaken. Normal show was showing us a side of the wall about that history of the name Medicine Hat back in the Aboriginal. It came down from the Aboriginal, its Aboriginal name.
Yes.
Though the pronunciation has keep changing to now what it is as a medicine hat. So originally it was a different name then.
Yes.
No, I think it's good for the economic growth. It's good for the city. It's good for their image. It's good for the spin-off of that tourism coming. If there is a competition, you have a larger number of Aboriginal. You have non-Aboriginal people who probably will be visiting the area and making sure that they have hotels and all that. The spin-off economic coming, I think, is huge.
I think it would be a wonderful addition to our city as far as what we can offer tourists coming through on their way to the Badlands tour. It is definitely in that scope of things, and definitely an economic draw to the city.
No, let's hope they will probably be able to do that in the next few years, or they will see that the potential of the economic growth. My last one is, what's your resolution for the 2015?
Resolution for 2015, you asked. I seen that on the question earlier, and I really struggled to see that. But I would like, I think as Samas employment again grows with the community, our 2015 resolution would be to see more of our Aboriginal population working frontline in our businesses, being able to be self-sufficient, being able to have them empowered through a positive work environment, and being economically stable here in Medicine Hat.
Well, we hope you achieve that in 2015, and we hope Samis Aboriginal will achieve their potential, helping people. And we salute you for your hard working and tireless effort for the organization that you've been 14 years, and that the will is there. So if there is a will, there is a way. So I'm sure that the organization will succeed under your leadership, and we hope the city as well as the business group will see the potential of the labor force there and join you with that economic growth vision of the city as in general. Thank you very much, Anita, for coming, and we wish you all the best, and I hope we will see you next time with your outfit of the Aboriginal culture.
Thank you again for having me.
Thank you very much. This was the end of Global Village Show with our great friend Anita Neves from the SAMS Aboriginal Executive Director. This is Ahmed Kassim, your host of the program. I would like to take the opportunity and thank City of Brooks, County of New and Medicine Hat College for their support of the program. Until then, have a good day and see you next time. God bless you all.